we're here for another BlankBoy video. This one is when the Avengers died and the next Avengers got back on Ultron. And based on the thumbnail, I'm pretty sure this is going over the old Avengers cartoon, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers, which I remember watching that whenever I was little, and that was actually really entertaining to watch back then. I don't remember much of it, but I remember being thoroughly entertained enough to keep on watching it, and if I was entertained enough to keep on watching it, then I'd say it did a good job at entertaining me, yeah. Sadly, I don't remember much from the show. The only thing I remember is like something going down with Black Panther or something like that, and the one where the Avengers fought the Guardians of the Galaxy. And other than that, I don't really remember much, sadly. I wish I did, but I sadly do not. So, yeah, that's all I remember. Yeah, but according to this title, apparently the Avengers died, and the next Avengers had to go fight Ultron, so, yeah, which, honestly, I actually really like Ultron as a villain, and I think, and I'm gonna be honest, I think Ultron is a better villain than Thanos, in my opinion, and I don't know, and I'm not talking about MCU, Ultron and Thanos, because I don't really, I'm talking about actual Ultron and Thanos. I like Ultron as a villain way more than Thanos, and honestly, I view him as a bigger threat to humanity than Thanos, in my opinion. Yeah, because I mean, hell, Ultron took one look at humanity through the internet, and he was like, yep, they gotta go, they gotta go. Yeah, and it also just makes sense, because, well, he's not wrong. We kind of suck as a species, yeah. Anyways, I'm curious to see how this is gonna go, so let's just jump right in, shall we?
So before these Avengers, I had the Ultimate Avengers. What y'all young whippersnappers know about this? This was my MCU. And it starts off with with the Avengers kids at bedtime. And what they did to little bro right here should be child abuse. Sat him down in the chair and asked for the heart monitor. They're begging for their favorite bedtime story, and so starts telling them a story about the Avengers and all their glorious adventures on the roster.
Well, I didn't know what the hell the Ultimate Avengers was. I thought it was... Well, hold on, let me look at the series now. I gotta make... Okay, so I'm thinking of something else entirely. I was thinking of a TV show. This is a movie, apparently. Okay, I was thinking about something else entirely. Okay. How many people were like, this is something else entirely. He doesn't know yet. Jesus.
They had Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, Giant Man, Pixie, who, yes, they're the equivalents of Ant-Man and Wasp, just different names. Black Panther, Vision, Hawkeye on a 10-day contract. And as you can see, Hulk got Jason Tatum. They put his ass on the bench because in the last movies, they had to jump him because he didn't know how to act. They defeated King the Conqueror, Evil Giant Shipman, Baron Zemo, and eventually all settled down. Cap and Nat having James, Giant Man and Janet having Pym, T'Challa and Storm having Azari, and Thor went back to Asgard, leaving his baby girl Torin on Earth. Thor really out here engaging in child abandonment. Nigga been in New York for too long. Nah, word.
No, I'll be honest, that actually seems in character for Thor. As a kid, abandons it somewhere just to go fuck off and do something, and then he comes... And then when he comes back and finds his kid, he was like, where have you been all my life? You ran away. I was like, I had a kid? I can totally see that happening. I can just see him forgetting about the fact that he had a kid in the first place, too. Jeez.
This son, I'm not jacking my daughter. But eventually Ultron shows up, killing Captain America, got the king dangling in the air to his death.
Damn.
And he doesn't stop there. Black Widow's out here and he hits that bitch with the Stephen A. Smith face, making her, Iron Man, Giant Man, and Wasp all spectate the Elvis, Prince, and Michael Jackson dance-off. Ultron eventually just murks everyone and completely takes over the world.
Damn.
And looking at it now, reading them bedtime...
Say, killed the Avengers, took over the world? Ultron ain't nothing to fuck with, okay? He is not to be trifled with in a lot of situations, okay?
Stories about
especially since, you know, at the end of the day, he is an AI. Like, it can just transport itself to another body or whatever, and it'll just be like, oh, hey, congrats, you got the one body. Now here's a 17 billion more. Which one of them am I in? Or I'm in all of them at once. Jeez.
Their parents got murked is type insane. And then, Master Wayne, your dad tried to fight off the robber, but once he whipped out the blicky, he turned into a respectful young man. Bro, I was there. But luckily, the Avengers managed to ship off their kids to a remote destination so they can continue to live. And this is where we get to a 12-year time skip, and the kids are trying to wake James up, Azari zapping him and ends up eating straight mud for it. And you can't blame James. Nobody want to be woken up mid-sleep, especially not like that.
Yeah.
Consider yourself lucky, to be honest. He could have made your worst fears a reality. Could have given you a lineup. James walks out, and man, the aura is really unmatched. No way you did that to the Prince of Wakanda. Bro, Wakanda is toast now. That nigga Ultron turned it into Haiti. Let it go. And for whatever reason, James just started letting it fly. And hey, I know your ass not breathing. Asgard perfectly fine, and Thor got your ass living in a fucking apocalypse. And Torrens heard enough, jumping down, and they clash with one another. But it doesn't last long, cause Unk interrupts to stop it and sends them to their room. They in there complaining about Unk, and Vision pops up out of nowhere, but they ready to go. Thing is, they didn't even get the chance, cause bro just collapses to the ground, and that's when Unk comes into the room and takes him to the lab. Whereas you can see, Ultron did him greasy, turned Vision's mainframe into that of a Game Boy. The kids, of course, follow Unk into the lab secretly, and they're snooping around until they find Unk's armored Avengers he built to fight Ultron. Oh yes, let's use robots to fight the AI.
Well, that's... yeah, I can definitely see this working out very well. Totally not gonna backfire and get infected by, like, the Ultron virus or whatever. Or Ultron's gonna take control of now. Yeah, so capable of interfacing with other machines and manipulating them as extensions of himself. Yeah, that's... Congrats, you've given him 5 more bodies. Yeah, or at least, was that 5? Was that 5? Yeah, 5. You've given it... Oh, no, 6, because of Giant Man there. Okay, congrats. You've given Ultron more firepower. Good lord.
Guy that controls electronics. When Thanos arrives, he probably plans to throw fucking Infinity Stones at his head. James, that's not your dad. Shut up, bitch. Daddy, do you remember me?
It's a robot.
Shit. The fuck? Man, goddamn.
Man, it wasn't supposed to end this way. You should have seen the woman before your mom. She was special. Peggy Carter. I'm stressed. James and Torrin must have accidentally pressed something because they turned on all the armored Avengers, and now they're already programmed, tasked with defeating Ultron. They start heading out there to go run the fade. Armored Cap hitting James with that Billie Jean, but the kid is not my son. And they dip out to go find Ultron. But the thing is, Ultron been watching this whole time the second the robots went live.
Doesn't surprise me.
Look at him standing there, menacingly. This is the Ultron I knew. Bro was so spooky. So when I saw this nigga pop up in the MCU cracking dad jokes, I was like, huh? Why was the robot tired when he got out the car? It had a hard drive.
Oh, brother,
this
guy stinks!
So Ultron used his abilities to take over the world. But that does not have to be the case for us. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, NordVPN. I know a lot of you guys love movies and TV shows just like me. So I can personally speak to how great NordVPN is because look at this. I can watch Spider-Man on Netflix right now. My favorite cartoon of all time is SpongeBob. Been binging it on Netflix. And there's so much more. We got any The Office fans?
I watch SpongeBob. I haven't watched SpongeBob in years. And I mean the old SpongeBob, the good old SpongeBob, yeah.
In here? But how? Are they in one place? You're supposed to need 37 different subscriptions to watch these. And it's because NordVPN...
I fucking hate that thing where you need like every damn subscription under the damn sun just to find everything. Especially if you want to like binge watch something like Pokemon, which I think everyone knows like you need like every damn subscription just to watch every single thing of Pokemon, which is fucking ridiculous.
VPN allows you to change your servers. Literally all I had to
the VPN really helps.
Do was switch from USA to London server.
Then again, I don't know how much it'll help watching the Pokemon anime, but with other things, it'll definitely help. I gotta sneeze. I'm done sneezing.
And now I'm able to access content that otherwise I wouldn't be able to. And it's really that simple. Right now, if you use my link in the description, you'll get a crazy discount of a 2-year plan plus an additional 4 months. Just go to NordVPN/BlankBoy to help support the channel. There's also the mind-boggling fact that depending on where you live, membership and subscription fees vary. I remember my mind was blown when I figured this out. Something like Microsoft 365 is essential, and if you change your servers from USA to, let's say, Colombia, you'll see how the price drops significantly. And that's not all NordVPN does. Like I mentioned earlier, there's Ultron data breaches happening constantly worldwide.
Damn.
NordVPN protects you from malicious sites, downloads, trackers, and intrusive ads, covers your IP, keeping your browsing to yourself. No one can track what you're doing online, and it has ultra-fast connection.
Neat.
There's no sacrificing speed for protection. You get the best of both worlds. So just head over to NordVPN/BlankBoy and get your risk-free experience. 30-day money-back guarantee. Link in the description. There's literally no better deal on the internet. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. But Ultron found them and he's on his way right now. And I'm not talking about black people I'm on my way and haven't even showered yet. That boy dipped immediately because the armored Avengers go out and they see him flying up in the sky. Giant Man thinking he's like...
Does he even need to go out there? Does he even need to? Or is he just gonna, you know, just use some radio signal and just infect them like that? Yeah. Yeah. He'll be like, hey Thanos, remember that snap thing you did? I did that shit first. Well, if only if...
that flying up, and Ultron comes down, beaming him through the head instantly.
Damn.
Ultron's just straight boosting on the Avengers at this point, windmilling after the game is over and shit. He then comes up behind Microsoft Black Widow and starts hacking her, which wasn't predictable at all.
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
2K dropped another shitty game. Unc tells them to get out of here, so they do with Vision's head, and Vision's not used to the Avengers acting scary like this.
I'm so sorry. I forgot there's some bitch niggas in here.
The sky turns out to just be a dome, and luckily Torn just manages to fly them out the way of the debris. They were knocked out for a bit, but when they wake up, there's a bunch of white stuff falling. These motherfuckers been camping in a tiny globe in Demi Lovato's room this whole time. And the entire place goes to black, sounding the alarms, no different than the Krusty Krab.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga alert.
Is it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I
alert.
think so, my nigga.
Broke nigga.
And this is where
Jesus.
Ultron makes his entrance, descending down onto them like a metal Grim Reaper. Shit was so spooky, got me clutching my PS5 and PC. Stay away. And Ultron already knows that these preteens are easy pickings for him.
Hate to break it to y'all, but look at
I'm just now thinking how scary it is for as if Ultron was existing. He'd be like, I have every single one of your guys' porn browsing data on my hard drive system. Oh no. And then he starts listing out every single porno you've watched. Oh no. No matter how many passwords and blocks you put on your porn, I will always find it. I will always know it. Oh god, no. Oh Christ.
these power levels, all y'all niggas adopted. This can't be the Avengers kids.
But it's time for Ultron to pick on somebody his own size. Niggas be 40 with 15-year-old ops. Cause out of nowhere, as Ultron goes to kill them, Iron Man grabs him by the head and throws his ass into the forest.
Lot armor.
I'm Team Cap for life, but goddamn Iron Man entrances, they going crazy. Look at their faces, look like they seen a ghost, and that's because they're seeing a ghost. How is Iron Man alive? It turns out Unc was Tony Stark this whole time.
Really?
I wonder how they never put two and two together. When niggas somehow knew stories about Hawkeye getting caught beating his shit in the weapons room, that should have raised some red flags. Iron Man tells them to skedaddle, flies up shooting lasers, weaves Ultron, kick, gets blocked, and holds a left.
Damn.
Ultron dropped off the entire Avengers squad by himself, and Iron Man really running the ones with him right now? This man's got nerves of steel. Catching a Ultron lasering him, and they trade misses as Tony dips into the forest. Tony knows he's washed, I can't blame him. This is Wizards MJ, Celtic Shaq, Brooklyn Nets KG, Rudy Gobert his entire career. So Iron Man's still just flying, and goddamn, bro, just look at the artwork. Look how clean this all looks. He boosts more
really
and
good.
eventually lands, turning around, gearing up, and visually can see him lock in. This movie really came out in 08 and still looks better than like the Black Widow movie. That junk looked like it belonged on Nick Jr. with the thunder.
Hey, it probably it looks better than a lot of the bullshit Disney comes out with, okay? Like, there's... we can dunk on more than just Black Widow, okay? We can, alright?
Bro. The kids get to the Quinjet and they tell Vision they'll be right back. We going to help Tony.
That nigga's toast.
as he locks the doors and pilots the Quinjet out of there. He knows Tony just went on a mission that he's not coming back from to save them, so he's not gonna make it.
Then I doubt those guys could actually do shit. Like, yeah.
In vain, and they finally get to see where they've been living this whole time. They've been in the Antarctic, but this probably their first time seeing snow. That's ironic.
Huh.
That's like being best friends with The Rock and being confused as to what a shitty movie looks like. How's that possible? Ultron lands a left and then a right uppercut into a boulder on Iron Man, then starts hacking his armor. Gonna have Tony pulling an offset. Bro got caught cheating on Cardi B in the DMs and pretended to be hacked, talking about some balls in my face. But Tony manages to blast Ultron away, got him hitting the oh nah. Aisha Curry's in the kitchen again, and he just takes the shoulder pads off his suit. We done with the 80s, nobody rocking that shit no more. Blue 42, stupid ass. Iron Man dodges the blast, and they take turns missing and messing up the floor.
Blue 42, stupid ass.
42, stupid ass. We done with the 80s, nobody rocking that shit no more. Blue 42, stupid ass. Iron Man dodges the blast, and they take turns missing.
I don't know why that got me. It just really did.
And messing up the forest, picking up a rock, and Ultron just punches it.
Damn.
But Tony's fight comes to an end, unfortunately. I'm gonna pour one out for you, Tin Man. Got my bottle of oil right here. Ultron misses and then blasts Tony to the ground, throwing his helmet to his feet.
Damn.
This is so disrespectful. Bro, this y'all GOAT?
Dang, Stark. Where was all this fight when I was stabbing Hawkeye with an HDMI cord?
And then the armored Avengers pull up to Tony, but not to save him. They pulling up to put an end to bro. This man, Tony, stay going to build a op. It's later revealed that Tony created Ultron and now fucked up and built him an army. Nigga, put the
I
hammer.
guess we're still doing the... I guess it's still in the Tony built Ultron thing, even though it was Hank Pym, or at least it was I believe it was him, yeah. It was I believe it was Hank who did it. It should have been. It was definitely Ant-Man instead of him though. And I do think it was Hank. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm right now. Okay, I was right. It was Hank Pym. All right, just making sure. I had to fact check myself, and I was right.
Down, please. Then Ultron starts live.
I guess this, but for some reason we're making it that Iron Man created Ultron. Don't know why, but I'm not gonna question it. I don't know. If it works, it works, and it does make sense. Iron Man making Ultron too, but yeah.
Him an army.
Originally it was Hank Pym, though. Yeah.
Nigga, put the hammer down, please. Then Ultron starts live streaming it so the kids can see.
Avengers Pack, thank you for the sub.
So the Avengers kids, led by Captain Sperm, escape to the city where Ultron, of course, controls. And while they're in the city, it's important for me to point out that Torn's dumbass thinks she's invincible. She's mistaken and thinks her being an Asgardian god means she can't die. Wait till this bitch plays God of War. So she runs in there, slashing one of the Ultron bots in half, and that made the whole block hot. Everybody knows where they at now. So some RT.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds dumb as shit. Like, hey, let me go attack this thing like for no reason and just let everyone know, hey, I'm here in the city of robots that want to kill everything that isn't a robot. Okay.
D2 ass nigga drops down and starts spraying at her, and then she manages to jump out the way of another. But his arm is extended out now, so she treats that shit like a piece of salami, cutting and throwing it back at bro. But Ultron got more homies than a shorty cheating on her boyfriend. Now all of a sudden, every nigga in the county is her practical brother from elementary school. A bunch more drop down, and she runs over, cutting one down, and they start spraying the heck out of her. This reminds me of the scene from the Avengers, but the difference is, Shorty is not the Hulk.
Yeah.
Because she gets blasted and is looking at her hand like post-nut clarity. She can't believe she took damage, getting blasted a second time.
Yeah.
And while she's over there...
She really came in there thinking she was a damn Kryptonian, huh? No, you're not Kryptonian, you're Asgardian.
Like barbecue chicken, her brothers come to save the day. Pym starts blasting it.
Yeah, bitch ass nigga Wally, stop playing with me. I'm like that.
And starts blasting it again. But this printer trying to do the dash, so Azari and James manage to cut it off as Azari blasts it, and James uses his shield to protect them from the debris and fire. But unfortunately, Torn wasn't as lucky, because she gets back up from her nap, her forehead beaming from that blast, just to get stomped on like a cockroach, shoe print all over her body, laid out there looking like Flat Stanley. That's so tough. The writers really wanted to give her the craziest wake-up call to the fact that she's not immortal.
Yeah.
Next, Pym is gonna be cocky thinking he's the smallest thing on Earth and get humbled seeing Polo G's fanbase. Torin wakes up to see her pops, and this man grabs her by the head and slams her into the ground.
Damn.
Shorty knew she was
Bro, the fucking size difference, too.
Man grabs her by the head and slams her.
Bro, look at the fucking size difference. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, she came out there thinking that she was him, but nope. Nope, not even close.
Slams her into the ground. Shorty knew she was cooked, started begging to Thor for help, and he looking down on her from Asgard with that Kobe smirk. And the boys didn't get a chance to help because they start getting shot at by the armored Avengers, but just randomly, literally out of nowhere, get saved. Azari gets dragged into the wall, followed by Pym next, and James as well. Leaving Torin behind, and she's fried rice, still calling out to her father, but that nigga sending her to voicemail every time. So the armored Avengers are ready to feast, but Thor gets boomed and randomly swoops in to save the day, and this is Francis Barton. Turns out Clint had a son, and he's been alive this whole time as well, living in the slums and eating batteries. So going through Ultron City, the kids manage to stumble across Ultron's trophy room, and in it, they see Iron Man's armor in there too. Got the entire squad in tears. And James also looks at his pops and how Ultron took my man Shiesty, and James accidentally pressed the button showing the entire rest of the trophy room. Ultron really killed every super being, bruh.
Damn.
How the fuck Magneto lose? But they eventually find Tony.
Yeah, that is a good question. How the fuck Magneto lose? Like, damn, Magneto? Well, I'm pretty sure Ultron probably found something out. I don't know, he can probably figure out how to put, like, technology into something without metal in it. And, well, if that is possible, I don't know. He can probably figure something out. I don't know.
Turns out he's
I don't know, he can probably find someone that or just find someone he cares about and threaten them and then be like, alright, now I'm about to stab you in the face now. Alright, take this. And then he's just gone or something.
Ultron pulls up on them with the armored Avengers. Barton bails them out again, and they all manage to escape to the Quinjet.
Just
Avengers. Barton bails them out again.
No damage. Just 0 damage.
And they all manage to escape to the Quinjet.
Soon after.
Hey, twin, what you put on the ox? Finna put on some Kyle. Nigga, Kyle? What Kyle you know? I spy with my little eye. A curly-headed cutie, I could turn into my wife. So they eventually make it out to a remote location, running into Betty and Bruce Banner.
Oh.
So you mean to tell me Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor all alive and haven't "we need to get the band back together" had asked to be Ultron yet? But it doesn't matter now, because the armored Avengers are here, ready to put an end to all this. Giant Man punches the cliff and they all fall out, but Torin saves Azari and James, landing them safely ready to go. Same time they doing all that, the rest of the armored Avengers pull up, her turning her hands into 2 pistols. But that's no problem for the children. Thank God it's James' weak-ass parent and not Steve. Because he easily blocks the bullets, but Azari gets tackled away by Mech Black Panther going rolling away. And all the parents must have decided we taking a page out of Firelord Ozai's book, boxing up our kids. Because Robot Thor goes into the sky to get his 1v1 fade with Torin. And if there's one thing Tony got right about these Avengers bots, it's Captain America's unwillingness to kill. They be fine for real, just a little hurt. Because he definitely didn't try to fucking decapitate James before getting blown up by Barton last minute. But then Black Widow attacks James and Barton gets boomed off the rock, shooting off his own arrow at his pops, blowing him up, and he thought he had done it. Started celebrating like he just won Game 7. Because Robot Hawkeye gets up looking like Finn the Human, but bro just makes another one with his right arm.
Damn.
And the smile faded so fast, I'm crying. And you know how 12 dudes will be chasing somebody talking about, oh, look at him, track star, track star. Yeah, Hawkeye done turned Barton into a gymnast to dodge these bombs. So the cameraman pans away, and Unc Tony is useless right now. He's got no other suit. MCU Iron Man clears this nigga. He would have called in a spare one down from fucking Saturn. So Giant Man loads up a mean right punch in the mountain, making Tony fall out of it. Unc pushing 90, his fragile Derrick Rose bones won't be able to survive this fall, so James ducks his lame-ass mom and then bounces off Cap's shield to catch Tony and surf him to safety. Giant Man causing too many problems, so James tells Pym tired things shaking, got Bruce acting mad scary.
What the fuck was that? Sorry about that, I thought there was like a damn ants around. Okay.
I did not marry the unincredible Hulk. You won't be able to stay here and drink your cactus juice if Ultron wins, Bruce.
The cameraman then transfers his sights over to the Prince of Rubble after what Ultron did to them, Azari. And Azari, after missing his shots, whips out his belt on his own pops. That's insane work.
Dad, what are you doing? Nothing, son. What did I tell you about talking to strangers? Now he's gonna kick my butt.
Hitting him and kicks down a knee and throws him into the pile of rocks afterwards. That was a clean move. But then Black Panther literally turns into a panther, which was actually a power he had in this universe, with claws and everything, circling Azari. Slowly got my boy all nervous as Black Panther lunges at him, and the screen just goes black. Did he live? Did he die?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Thorin and Thor are clashing, right-left sword hit, but then he grabs her and hits her down, but she manages to catch herself and start levitating. She's clearly found her zen, she's in the zone. My father doesn't love me and it's cool, I've accepted it. Catching the sword and going back in. I like how everyone is fighting their dad right now. It's dope. If I was in this movie, the air would really be catching these hands, no cap. James blocks Cap twice, rolling and throwing his shield at the mountain to cause it to fall on top of Captain America. But he looks up after, and his mom up there, moving like a Decepticon, shooting at him, breaking his shield. So he grabs the actual shield, and so when she lands with her sights aimed on him, he's able to throw it at her, cutting off 3 of her arms and launching himself right at her, while Pym continues to show his dad who's daddy. His right and shooting beams up close, putting Giant Man on his butt for what's like the 10th time. So he calls for backup, sending Pixie at Pym, spam blasting him, so James tells Pym to go get Bruce. So he does, but Bruce refuses to turn into the Hulk and help them.
Well, you better transform. You better get off it. You better get off his ass and turn his ass green and get the fuck out there and start kicking some ass. Get out there. I don't care if you don't want to turn green. You're turning green in this situation. We need the Hulk, damn it.
This cut. That's a nigga who don't care about anything, bro. But he doesn't really have a choice anymore, because the pixies start blasting him, and he starts getting tight and unleashes the incredible Hulk. And bro wasted no time, jumping off, blasting the Giant Man's head off with one shot, then jumps down, posing like he on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I'm in danger!
And then he starts getting tickled, so he grabs Black Widow, slamming her on repeat. GG's, sent her back to the lobby screen. Ultron peeps his homies getting dropped like flies, so he flies above and starts cooking the Hulk and lands behind him, grabbing his ear like he about to start talking to him mid-strokes. And whatever he was offering, Bruce wasn't trying to hear all that. That Riz was not gonna work. Fuck I look like Karen? So he punches Ultron through the ground into the mountain and goes over as Ultron starts slicing up the mountain with lasers. Hulk got 1,000 more muscles than the average person, except in his brain, because he sees Ultron and just jumps on top of him. No strategy, no nothing. And surprise, surprise, it didn't work, because the dust settles and Ultron holding him with one hand, throwing him into the mountain. Hulk is angry and sprints back in, and the Incredible title just keeps whittling more and more. Went from Incredible Hulk to Impressive Hulk to now the kind of cool, I guess, Hulk, because Ultron is getting him break his damn arm. Eyes wide open, looking back like he just seen some.
Man, he came out there, he came out strong, but he's going out really badly. Like, oh good lord. He came out strong, but he couldn't keep up the rhythm.
Something he really liked. We then pan over to Azari versus Black Panther in a tug of war. And to be honest, bro, me talking over this scene just wouldn't do it justice. So I'm gonna just let Lil Bro get this off his chest himself.
Okay.
You're not the Black Panther.
Talk that talk, Azari. I'm not surprised Black Panther and Storm's kid is a demon. That's why Peter stopped fucking with Mary Jane and got with Captain Marvel instead. Bro trying to make sure his son makes the league. Barton that tells GG on his dad, shooting both feet.
Or literally anyone other than Mary Jane, honestly.
Then one into the dome. Hawkeye gets back up, but he out of batteries, so Barton walks over so nonchalant, booming his shits, laying him out, and I'm not surprised he did.
Now one of them runs out of batteries? Okay.
Hawkeye wasn't in the original's Ultimate Avengers roster, but he must have been a free agent pickup down the road. Thorin hits a spin move, stabbing Thor, slicing him in half like butter. And James, with the power of his pops, using the actual shield instead of the Payless hologram one, throws it at Captain America, also cutting him in half. And something I always think about is how graphic deaths like these be, but it's not because it's robots. Like the Transformers was really ripping off arms and slapping niggas with it, or chopping faces in half. But then he looks over and the Hulk is low-key getting beamed, but he kind of tanking that junk. Look like Rihanna out there, getting closer to Ultron, but while he reaches out, we see that it eventually cooked him
as he falls to the ground.
Damn.
The kids peep that and still think they have a chance. Straight blind faith must be Dallas Cowboys fans, because they talking about jump his ass while Ultron just laughing at them and booms them instantly. Pym is the first one to get back up, going into his tiny form to fly in there, but he didn't anticipate Ultron's breath smelling like Badissi, because that shit knocks him out, landing on the Hulk. Azari saw Lil Bro get laid out and decided it was his time to shine, using the move he just used on his pops on Ultron. Shooting off a Kamehameha that Ultron just nonchalantly starts absorbing into himself. All that electricity feels good as hell, like some crack for him. Ain't that right, RDJ? And he fires it right back at Azari, laying him out. Torin's stupid ass thought she was getting her moment, but that sword did nothing and starts getting choked out. She ends up getting saved because James jumps in there, tripping Ultron with the shield, but starts getting beamed by Ultron's lasers and is straight up cornered with no other choice than to just block. All hope is looking lost. Everyone is either laid out or the brink of turning into dust from oldness, so Pym does the only thing he can think of and tries to get the Hulk back up.
Ultron said you a bitch. He said I bet Betty tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. And he said Hulk don't even be smashing shit for real.
And that was all Hulk needed to hear. Grabbing Ultron's head, running,
got him motivated now, huh?
Oh, missionary. Talking about Hulk don't be smashing shit no more. I'm gonna show you some smashing, nigga. Picking Ultron up, ripping him in half, and that's GG's. It's over. Hulk goes to get Betty, and they dip off to who knows where, and Ultron is laying there hitting the Peter Griffin, but he's hardwired to put himself back together, so that's what he's doing. So Torin flies Ultron.
Yeah, and even then, that wouldn't be enough, because couldn't he just transport his AI consciousness thingy to like another robot too? Like, that's pretty much what he would do.
Space to stop him. MCU Iron Man stole her whole shit, but she's choking and is about to die, and her pops finally saves her and offers her to come to Asgard.
Now you come.
She's like, nah, broski, I made the league and now you trying to come back in my life? I already got a family. Gives him a hug and goes back down in the new fit, and it's happily ever after.
Neat. That was really good. That was really good. But I feel like realistically, Ultron, like I said, Ultron would just transport his conscious to another body, because like I'm pretty sure you would definitely have like another spare body waiting to just transport himself into. Yeah. But hey, whatever. They got to end the movie at some point, I guess, because then it just probably wouldn't end. Because if he just did that, and especially after Hulk dip, they're just dead. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now. If you enjoyed it, check out the original video, which will be linked in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.